Hi. Hey, howdy. How's everybody doing? Oh no, my sword is over there. I gotta get it. Hold on, let me get the sword. In case any noobs come in here. Gotta have the sword ready for knighting. That's very important. I'm super bummy right now. I'm mad bummy right now. It's okay. That's life, guys. Sometimes you gotta be bummy. You gotta just chill. It's my day off. I didn't have to work today. I didn't have to teach kids that don't care about my talent and knowledge that I have ready to give at a moment's notice. But I hope everybody's doing okay out there. I hope everybody had some good luck this weekend on the drop, because today was the Disney Golden Moments drop for Valentine's Day. Daisy Duck and Donald Duck and Lady and the Tramp. Um, I did not get it, sadly. I tried really hard. I practiced the night before. I was really on my tap game, but I think the universe had other plans. And then I'm really salty about something that happened, um, and I'll talk about it in a little bit. But I hope that everybody else got something. I really do hope somebody got something. My best friend was able to get one. My mod Yo-Yi was not able to get one. Sad about that. I was really hoping he would get one. But it's okay. Getting one of the drops it's almost pure luck sometimes, you know. If not just in general, it's just straight up pure luck. Never count on getting drops. Never count on getting drops. Okay, they're a happy surprise. We'll just say that they're a real happy surprise. You never know what'll happen. And yeah, it's crazy. Oh, Elijah. Dropping foreign stuff here. That's not nice. That's not cool. So yeah, this was an interesting drop. I will talk about the price points and what got hit from time to time. I got my Ecomi Wiki ready to roll, ready to rumble. So the common was Donald and Daisy, and they were dropped for $60. So in case you're new to VEVE and you're asking like, how much do these things usually cost on a drop? Well, this one was $60, a mere $60. Okay, and like I said, it's almost like a lotto ticket. You never know how things are gonna fall. You never know if you're gonna get one, so don't bank. Don't bank on getting one for sure. Okay, it is an absolute blessing to get a VEVE drop. All right. That being said, I think that right now what's happening is people are realizing that they really are going to have to play the marketplace, and you know, everybody's not rich. I know I'm not rich. You know what I mean? Like I can't put in money all the time into the app. This is actually the first time that I made a move selling some collectibles. I've never sold any collectibles before, and I only sold collectibles that I had no attachment to whatsoever, that I felt like wouldn't have any short-term value right now, and ones that were not first appearances for the most part. And I actually got the list of what I sold, so I can kind of tell you the move that I made. My mod helped me out with this because I am terrified of selling stuff on the app, but I need to get over that, you know. So I had a mini DeLorean that was an absolute god-awful mint number. And at the time it was 85 for the floor price. I sold a rare Mermicorn from the last set that dropped, and that was at a floor of 49. I sold the Rock and Roll Decon Uncommon, that was at a floor of 39. I sold the Drug 'em Kill Frog, that was from Ron English, that was at a floor of 67. I sold the Spidey Marvel Mighties, and at the time it was at a floor of 135. I sold one of my Storm Uncommons because I had two of them. So I sold the higher mint one for the floor price was around 66. And then I sold one of the three Deadpool Uncommons that I have. The highest mint number was in the 3,000 range. and I sold that at the floor price around $108. So that got me about, like 500 and something bucks, 550, give or take the tax. Just so you guys know, if you're new, if you're selling your DC stuff, there's only a 2.5% tax, I believe, on top of the tax from VEVE. So it ends up being like 5%, I think. It's like 2.5 and 2.5. I could be wrong on that. And then for Disney or Marvel, there's like a 5% tax. And then on top of that, the tax for selling it through VEVE is a 2% added to that. So what hopefully people will realize, and I hope that everybody's listening to this very carefully, when there's a gem squeeze, and that's when there's a big drop, just like today. Today was a big drop. It's Disney Golden Moments. We had a big amount of those all in 1 week, months and months and months ago last year, and they're extremely valuable. So, of course, everybody and their mom is going to be going for these golden moments as much as they possibly can, because they understand now the intrinsic value that they'll gain over time. They just will gain value in general, and a lot, and very quickly. Okay, so when that happens, people start selling off their collectibles. I did not sell off my collectibles for an attempt to pay more for a Disney Golden Moment. I actually sold my collectibles so that I could get a Mickey Mouse FE lenticular at a lower price than what its ultimate all-time high had hit. Okay, so I didn't want to put 600 fiat cash into the app. I wanted to trade what I had for the value of it combined, so that I could get an NFT that I think is going to, in a short term and mid-term and long term, be really valuable over time. So when that happens, like I said, the gym squeeze happens. Everybody's selling their stuff. It's fire sale, like in Call of Duty. Everything's half off. That's your moment to go in the market and swoop up some super, super good deals on collectibles that you might have been eyeing for a while, right? Maybe you got collectibles in your collection that you're like, I got this on the drop just as a what if, if I got something else to pull collateral with so I can sell it. Like the Mermicorns. I do like Tokidoki stuff, but I'm not a fan of Mermicorn. So that was not something that I had attachment to. So I went for that drop. I succeeded on that drop and got that. So that was a $16 investment that turned into a 40 something dollar, return on investment, or 30 or 20, $30 return on investment. So great, awesome, sweet, right? Do I want to keep it? No. I could sell it. I should have sold it a little bit earlier when it was around the 70s, but I was intending for it for something else. But the opportunity presented itself, and I felt like getting the Mickey Mouse lenticular was going to be a better move. There you have it. So that's what happened. So you gotta. Now here's the thing. In the past, back in the day, we didn't have drops every single day. Or we didn't have drops every other day. We might have drops 2 times a week if we're lucky, right? So that means that people didn't have to chase as many carrots that were around. But now, it's a nostalgia war, baby. All bets are off. Bowls are getting thrown. Nostalgia versus nostalgia. Who's going to win? Who's going to stay on top? Who's going to be able to weather the storm? And a lot of the things that I have felt like wouldn't be able to weather the storm have not been able to weather the storm. There's a couple of reasons why. One being the tax, right? So DC stuff. DC stuff is going to give you the biggest return on investment and your profit margin when you sell it, because the taxes is so much lower than Marvel and Disney. So already that gives Marvel and Disney their items, their collectibles, an advantage to be held longer by investors, right? Also, you're not going to be able to predict when a big drop is happening. We got crazy drops happening. I feel like we've had a good drop pretty much every week since the new year started. And the end of the month is not even here yet. And they're teasing that, hey, this is only 2 spicy peppers out of 4 peppers, and we got a 4 pepper spicy drop coming. So, we're at a point now in VEVE where A Disney golden moment is not that big of a deal, right? So what's coming next? It is Black History Month, right? So there are a lot of options, but not a lot of options because unfortunately, there's not a lot of Black people that are represented as superheroes. Not nearly as many as other races, especially white characters, right? So there's only so many characters that you can pull from the MCU, and there's only so many characters that you can pull from DC that are going to be represented in the app, right? So here's the other things to consider, right? DC is kind of, and this is no slight to them, but DC is taking an easier way and approaching putting out their collectibles on this app. They're rehashing designs of three-dimensional sculptures, real physical sculptures that they've already had, like the black and white collection, the battle statue with Batman versus Killer Croc, and I'm sure that they'll rehash more of those, right? So we know, and we kind of can see into the future in terms of what DC is going to deliver on, what they're going to put out. Like, they haven't put out any animated stuff, right? Disney has been putting out animated stuff, right? Disney has been basically making brand new models of characters either for Marvel or for Disney in 3 dimensions, in the 3-dimensional realm, and they're putting them out. In some cases, they're animated, right? In some cases, they're actual, just physical, still 3D collectibles. So that's another thing. Like, Marvel has more of a variety of collectibles that they seem to be putting out. Disney has more of a variety of collectibles that they're putting out than DC. DC is a little bit predictable. But, how many people in the app are collectors versus just investors? And how many are half and half? I consider myself half and half. I am a collector, as you can see. I'm a professional animator, right? I'm a gamer. I'm a nerd. I've been a nerd since I was a little kid. I have Magic the Gathering cards, and I have comic book cards that are all around my house, that I've collected since I was a child and adult, into my recent years. So collecting is a part of my life, and there was a really good discussion today in, I think, Rob's stuff in his YouTube channel and on Dino's channel, and they were talking about, collectors versus investors. And here's the thing that people have to understand, and this is something that I really hope people get, is none of these collectibles would have any intrinsic value if there weren't collectors behind this project. You can't get value out of anything unless there's a collector involved. Investors are always going to sell. They're always going to flip. They're always going to try to get a quick buck, right? But collectors are not. I have collectibles that I've held for 20 years. And because of their rarity and their scarcity, and the fact that I have them mint in box, I'm not selling them anytime soon. I'm very patient. And I feel like most collectors have that same mindset. They're patient. We're patient with our investments. Like I said, yes, some of them we get emotionally attached to. Some of my collectibles I will never sell. Some of my collectibles I could definitely part with. Some are calculated, risk or assessment of risk in an investment strategy, and some are just for pure enjoyment. But that's, up to the collector or up to the investor. Everybody's different. Also we have to kind of take note that VEVE is actually creating new collectors, which is really, really fascinating. And it is something that I thought about when because I knew about the black and white statues years ago. They've been out forever. And they weren't very expensive, to be quite honest. Like, now they are, right? Or now they're starting to be. But that is something that I'm very familiar with. And now that people are buying their digital versions of black and white Batman on VEVE, they want the physical versions of their digital collectibles, which, who knew that would happen, right? I mean, like I said, I thought about it as being a possibility, but I never want to guess as to how much somebody will be inspired to be a collector. I always figured, like, being a collector was something you kind of just had to be. It's like in your blood, and it kind of stays with you. It doesn't really go away. Not everybody's a collector, you know what I mean? But I was wrong. So it's interesting. What will this do, right? DC has an aspect of their approach where It's helping to sell their items in the real world. Though their items being resold in the real world is not like an NFT, so they're not getting residual benefits of that. They're not getting royalties or a percentage of every resale of their Batman black and white physical statues, right, and sculptures. So this is going to be very interesting. I feel like, collecting is always going to be something that's here. And this generation of kids, since I'm a teacher, they love digital collecting. They think it's awesome. They spend hundreds of dollars uh, in several months and half a year just buying DLC packages of skins and dances and emotes for their characters in Fortnite and in Call of Duty or in Apex Legends. These kids are already into this stuff. They're already accepting of 3D collectibles and digital collectibles. So it's something to really think about and put into perspective. What is the demographic of buyers going to be like in the next 5 years? They're going to be kids that play Fortnite. And those kids are going to want digital collectibles because they already do like digital collectibles, right? So, I hope that people don't get into VEVE thinking that this is something that, oh, I'm going to make so much money in 1 year. Like, nah, man, like, be patient. Be considerate, be calculated, be crafty, and understand that as a collector, a long-term collector, and a nerd, I know how valuable things can get very quickly. I just personally, I don't really collect physical things anymore, but there is something that I just picked up as a physical item, and it's coming next year. So I bought two fully rendered, realistic 3D scanned versions of the Proton Pack from the last Ghostbusters film. I'm a huge Ghostbusters nerd. I dress up as a Ghostbuster every year for Halloween. If I ever go back to any conventions, I definitely will cosplay as a Ghostbuster because it's just awesome. And having a real Proton Pack was definitely a bucket list situation, right? But when you go online on eBay and you look for a realistic Proton Pack, something that someone built more likely, you're going to run yourself in about the $2,600 to $3,000 range, right? Which is a lot of money, right? A lot of money to cosplay Ghostbusters. But when Hasbro released that they were making a Proton Pack, and they already had the Neutrona one that attaches to the Proton Pack, and that they were doing a campaign that would be funded by fans, I jumped on it, especially because it was a whopping $399 for a Proton Pack. My God, that's nothing, right? That's nothing in comparison to a $3,000 price tag. And this thing lights up, it moves, it shakes, it's completely 3D scanned from the actual Proton Pack model. So it's a beefy replica. You know what I mean? It's not. It's probably one of the most amazing toys you'll ever see, right? So that was the reason why I bought two, because I've learned my lesson as a collector over the years. If you want to collect it and if you want to be an investor, buy two of them. If you really want to be on your P's and Q's, do like David you said, buy three. So then you have one to keep, one for a short-term gain in ROI, and then one for a mid-term to long-term gain in ROI. This is new. The NFT space is so brand new. We don't know where it's going to go. We don't know how fast it's going to grow. And we have to keep in perspective that the prices that these NFTs are at currently is only based on a pool of 2 million plus people, right? That's it. There's so many more people in the world, right? And the more people that get into the app, the more nostalgia there is to spread around, right? We're all scrapping and saving and pinching and pecking for, our own little piece of our nostalgia pies, right? And the things that we feel like will gain value, or just getting the things that we would, definitely appreciate. But, I don't know. I think in the short term, it'll dilute the market. But as more people get into the app, the market's going to change. It's going to change. When you start getting more Back to the Future fans in, the DeLoreans will go up. When you get more Tokidoki people into the app, those will go up, right? In general, they'll just go up. These things are scarce, right? One of my friends from college, he created Adventure Time. Like, I'm trying to see if I can get an Adventure Time NFT from VEVE as soon as I can, but I'm also at the same time fighting the nostalgia wars. You feel me? Going after Grail comics and going after FA appearances of Marvel characters and stuff like that. Anticipating the possibility of Black Panther this week, or Falcon, the new Captain America, or maybe even what do you call it? A Miles Morales for Spider-Man, right? Who knows what will come up, right? Things are very, very new, people. So please, please, please do not make your moves in haste. Be calculated. So just a couple of things. I am working on being able to show you guys my screen so that you guys can see my Ecomi Wiki page and you can kind of see the graphs and the charts of these collectibles. So today that Donald, Duck, and Daisy started out hot and heavy, just like the other golden moments as usual. One thing to note, right after the drop, the prices tend to be very, very high. So be aware of that, okay? Don't FOMO and buy when things are at their highest high, okay? Unless you see a bomb 3-digit mint number, right? Or unless you see somebody slip up, which is why I'm mad today. Because somebody did slip up. They listed their Donald and Daisy for $220. I hit the buy now. Brah! I got the buy now box. Didn't have enough gems. I added more gems. It shorted me by 96 cents, you guys. By 96 cents. And guess what? It didn't give me that NFT, that purchase of the on the market. These are going for $1,600 currently, right? So 220 would have been great. Some people accidentally posted their stuff for $2.80, $1.70. It happens. It can happen to you. It can happen to me. Don't do things in haste on this app. Take your time, read everything, and be careful, okay? When you're listing stuff on the market, make sure that it's got enough zeros behind it. You would much rather put too many zeros behind it rather than not enough zeros. You feel me? Okay? So just keep that in mind. And, you know, there could be somebody like me that could go, oh, you messed up, and we could just buy it. You know what I mean? If I had had enough gems in the app already there, I could have scooped up that Donald and Daisy for $220 easily. I could have easily got it because it was there. I never get the buy button in those situations whenever I try, and that was the one freaking time that it worked, and then it screwed me over. I was salty. I was super, super salty. You guys have no idea, but it's cool. It is what it is. On the other hand, this weekend I was a part of Kobe Collects Blind Box, and I scored myself for only $139 to participate in his amazing blind boxes that are custom that he puts together, him and his group, his team, his mods, right? I scored a Green Goblin, a low 3-digit mint, not a low 3-digit, but a 3-digit mint Green Goblin, which is worth right now. It's super undervalued. I think it's like at 680 or 700 right now. So undervalued. So undervalued. And I know it's going to go up in value. So I'm going to be holding on to that one for the foreseeable future. Yeah, that Daisy Donald, that 220, that really rubbed me the wrong way. But it's okay. So now I have too many gems in the app. I didn't count on it. But it's okay. But yeah, if you want to try to snipe some good mint numbers, usually a couple of hours after the drop has happened, when the market opens back up 30 minutes after the initial drop, that's your best time to scoop up some 3-digit mint numbers or some low 4-digit mint numbers, depending on what you're trying to get. I have gotten an uncommon Deadpool 3-digit 419 during that time frame. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like I said, don't count on always getting the drop. Start learning the markets. If you don't know the markets, talk to somebody who does know the markets, right? Talk to somebody who's plugged into this like me every single day, every week, day midday, night. Okay, I'm always checking these prices. I got a lot of prices in my head from day to day. I don't even need to look at Ecomi Wiki sometimes, right? So be mindful of that. All right, be very mindful. So Donald and Daisy, as I knew was going to be worth more in value to consumers and investors on VEVE than Lady and the Tramp. Even though Lady and the Tramp has 7,777 of them available, Donald and Daisy have 13,333. But Donald and Daisy is at a price of 1685 for the low, and Lady and the Tramp is at 1290 for the low. This is how things work out sometimes, guys. I have a Daisy Duck lenticular card that I got on the drop, right? But Daisy is literally she's the least valued card, I think, next to Minnie on the app. And she's a rare, so that means that she's not even as prevalent as Mickey and Minnie, or even Donald. Donald's an uncommon. There's more of him, but he's worth more than Daisy. That's because of who Daisy is. She's kind of more of a background character. She's not the star of the show. I would much rather have a Donald. I might try to see if I can trade some things later to get a Donald instead of that Daisy, to switch her out for him. But these things are hard to acquire, and we don't know when they'll run away in terms of their value and their price. But like I said, it depends on what drops are coming week to week. People are starting to get hip to VEVE's mysterious ways, and they know comics are during the week, right? Comics are an easy, double, two times ROI, right? $7 could turn into 14, or $7 could turn into 20, right, or 30, or whatever, right? I got a couple of good comics, which I usually never get, so I'm starting to try to figure out where my luck is shifting. But I was able to get the last Black Panther comic that came out that was released. I got an uncommon, and the uncommon Black Panther comic is, let's see, last time I looked, let's see, there are 144 of them for sale on the market. Not a lot at all. And it's at a low price of a floor of 58 bucks, right? So that was a $7 investment that turned into that. The other one I was able to get was Hero for Hire for Luke Cage. The Luke Cage comic, once again, that was $6.99 to participate in that drop, right? And that Luke Cage is, let's see, last I checked, he was at, and I got a rare on the drop, swoop whoop for me. Mint number is like 15,000, not the best mint number, but it's okay. But the floor price for the Luke Cage rare is $64.98. So that's an awesome investment, right? Awesome ROI if I want to sell it. If I don't have to. So there's the commons for Luke Cage. They are, let's see, they're at a floor price of 21. So just so you know, typically, like if it's a comic that no one really cares about, the floor price after the drop is going to usually be about 14 bucks. It might even get a little lower than 14 bucks. So it won't even be that big of a value jump. But if the comic is more significant in its value, then it usually will be in the $20 range for the commons, right? Common and uncommon comics typically are close in the same price. And then the rares kind of jump up 20 to 30 bucks from there. Ultra rares jump up 50 bucks or so from there. And then your secret rares compared to the common, usually secret rares are about 500 bucks. If they go under 500 bucks and you have the gems to get a $400 secret rare comic, and it's a good comic, scoop it up. Luke Cage is a great example of one. The first appearance of Monica Rambeau is another good one. Those are great secret rares to get, right? And they're not in the $1,000 range. And when we start having things like MCP points and that starts to count for certain things, having secret rares and having rares is going to be really, 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 really helpful in drops in the future when they implement the queue system. So, just things to prepare for, people. Things to prepare for. But, to really understand these markets, to be honest, it's better to be a nerd. We know what's valuable. That's why I was when my best friend who got this Donald and Daisy, this golden moment drop today. He was like, "Oh, I wanted Lady and the Tramp," and I was like, "No, you don't." I was like, "They're not gonna make any more Lady and the Tramp movies." I was like, "They made a live action one. It did not do well." I was like, "But Donald and Daisy are more prolific characters in the Disney atmosphere, so they're gonna be worth more, even though there's more of them available." And he was like, "Oh man, dude, you're right. Like, you're completely right. Yeah, Donald and Daisy are selling for more than Lady and the Tramp." And I was like, "Yeah." Just like I was able to easily see, like, that Avengers logo compared to the Iron Man. I was like, I don't care that Iron Man's a common. I want Iron Man. I don't want that logo. I don't care that it's rare. I don't care because I know even if that logo is worth more than the Iron Man, which it was for a while, I was like, it's gonna flip it at some point because people just value characters more than logos. People typically value characters over objects. Okay, this is why the pizza truck stays low. This is why the skateboard stays low. Right? The only objects that I think will be able to stand the test of time are objects that have more nostalgia attached to it. For instance, ultra rare DeLorean. The ultra rare DeLoreans already are going up, dude. And it sucks because they were as low as almost $700, and I really, really wanted to get an ultra rare DeLorean. I really wanted one. Announced in the $900 range or $800 range. Right now they're in the $830 range. They had a high at one point of like 1,000 plus. Their high, the highest it got was at $1,700. That was when one was the floor price was $1,700 for the ultra rare DeLorean. So you looking at an ultra rare DeLorean right now at $830? That's nothing. That's a steal. That's half off, right? So think about the things that you buy. I think the ultra rare DeLoreans are going to be a big deal in the long run, and you can really tell when the markets are taking a big dip when the DeLoreans go down. That's usually my litmus test. I look at the ultra rare DeLorean price and I see how far it goes down. If it goes down below 1,000, I'm like, ooh, we're in for a dip. Or if it goes like past 900, I'm like, uh-oh, everything's gonna come down, right? Because they actually stay pretty consistent in their value. They really don't drop too much, not at all. And the what's crazy is the let's see, even the FA of the DeLorean static one. I bought the static one thinking it was gonna go nuts. Anyway, I bought it at 200. It's at 139 right now. 139. So just to kind of give you an understanding of like, you're not going to make the best choices all the time. And I'm not selling my DeLorean at a loss. That's this $70 loss. I'm not selling it at that. In fact, I'm going to do whatever I can to probably get an ultra rare DeLorean as soon as I can. I also sold my baby DeLorean. The floor price is at 89 right now. So I might try to get one of those back. And now if I get it back, I'll be able to buy back a lower digit mint number. So it'll be good for me in the long run. So you gotta really like take your time thinking about what is more valuable to you to keep, what's gonna be a better long-term hold, and just be patient, man. Some of the stuff that some of the best moves that you can make are no moves at all. Just chill. Just learn the markets. Look, sit back, watch. It's the same thing with crypto. Don't FOMO into stuff. Don't freak out. When there's dips and when there's rises, don't freak out and start buying in green candles. You know what I mean? You buy in red candles. Don't ever buy in green candles. It's the worst mistake you can ever do, especially if you're not used to the markets and how they go up and ebb and flow. It's going to freak you out emotionally. I'm completely emotionally detached from when things drop in value and when things rise in value. You want to know why? Because I'm in crypto. Bitcoin, I started buying Bitcoin when it was $5,000 a Bitcoin or $3,000 a Bitcoin, okay? It's 43 and it's considered down right now. Like, I don't consider that down. I consider that up compared to when I was buying it back in the day. Like, nah, dude, like it's way up. so just keep the stuff in mind. But with VEVE, remember, people, we're super early. We're super so early. The cement for the foundation of this company and this project hasn't even dried yet. All right, we don't even have a foundational frame for this building right now. Okay, people are still signing their name in the cement right now. It's still wet, dog. It's still wet. So just chill. Just chill. Chill. Remember, you don't have to go for everything, nor will you have the ability to go for everything unless you got it like that. I don't have it like that. I'm a teacher. Teachers don't get paid that much, right? Right? So you want to try to acquire things that you can either, you know that they're going to acquire more value in the future. Try to get duplicates of them so that you can sell them. That way you don't feel like you're selling the only things that you have. From now on, usually what I do is I buy 2 of a comic. I'm trying to stack up more on rares. I would love to get some ultra rare comics. I don't have any ultra rare comics, and I don't have any secret rare comics, and I don't have any secret rare collectibles. All I have is ultra rare as my highest in collectibles, and in my comics, rare as my highest in my comics. So, I hope this was valuable and helpful. I know there's a lot of new people coming into the app. I'll do my best to stream more often and give you guys some tips and tricks and just things to think about when you're buying stuff or when you're thinking about buying stuff. But like I said, the best advice you can get right now is start learning the marketplaces. Start learning how to search for things. Start keeping track of stuff. And if you go to this guy's YouTube, Kobe Collects right here, I highly recommend that you try his blind box. You never know. He has amazing blind boxes that he puts. He put a Wally in the last one, Pluto Lenticular, Green Goblin, an Oculus, Nintendo Switch, and he has some other fire NFTs and stuff in the box. So, and people donated stuff too. So you never know. That $139 might turn into way more. But everybody wins something, even if it's just a comic. No, there's no losers in the blind boxes that he throws, and he's just good people, and his community is amazing, and I'm very very grateful. That's why I'm doing this, because I know that there are more people out there who want to learn about VV, and maybe you don't see somebody that looks like me talking about VV, so now you do. And I really hope, like I said, this was helpful. And I'm working as much as I can to improve this channel and my streams and be more consistent. And I love talking with people about this stuff and NFTs and being nerdy, because I'm a nerd. So, all right, guys, take care. Be safe out there. Be kind and loving, and try your best to do these drops. Go for every drop. You never know if you'll get one. You never know if you won't get one, right? But don't get emotional. Just keep it chill, and you might strike it rich. So, all right, guys, take care. I'm gonna go eat dinner now, and yeah, maybe I'll stream tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Huh? Later, skaters. Bye.